I am extremely sorry about that length of absence. I am remedying the particulars of that now. Nope, that is the wrong one. There we go. More reasonable. Greetings, everyone. Coin here, or Swirling Vortex, or Steven. You could call me any of those three you like. And welcome to another episode of Elden Ring Reforged. Last time, we have, we handled the Deep Root Depths. Where is the Deep Root Depths? Over here. So we made it through the Deep Root Depths. Made it to the Prince of Death's throne after defeating Fia's champions. We also turned in the Finger Slayer Blade to Brani, which she gave us access to the Carrion Royal Study. Hopefully, or the Carrion Study Hall, which will hopefully give us access to the Divine Tower of Liurnia. That'll be, that'll more or less be what's happening. And I think that really about, like, we went over a bunch of small stuff. We gathered a lot of items. We got some spells. But without further ado, let's get to the patch notes. Also, I want to apologize for the lack of camera again, but I'm hot. I'm warm. I do not want to expose, like, my t-shirt and my shorts. I don't want to do that. You guys deserve better. So instead, I'm just going to cover up my face and, you know, operate without a camera today. I'm sorry if people like my face, but I need time to, like, cool off and get comfortable. I have my limits. Hopefully you guys will understand, and if not, you can take... I'm just kidding. If you don't, I will live up to that expectation for you soon enough. Well, before we begin, it's first important that we go over the fact that there's a new patch. 2 new patches. Since last time. Patch version 0.6.2. Pretty much fixed the codex, fixed broken enemies, added enemy variants, and the ability to interact with rune pieces, and the ability to gain codex prestige ranks. As well as Starlight tokens when you get the prestige. It's great. It's something we'll be working toward. Maybe not the full amount, seeing as how a 12 times rune multiplier is impossible, but we're gonna do it. Patch 6.2a is just a bug patch, not important. Patch 0.6.3 adds 3 spells, 3 of them, along with a new high-quality image file to go along with it. So, the 3 spells: Creeping Rancor, Briars of Penance, another Aberrant spell, I always love those, and Scarlet Papillon. Scarlet Papillon. Creeping Rancor can be found on a hill in the capital outskirts near some golden skeletons. Briars of Penance can be found by clearing an enemy camp full of flamethrower tanks outside of Fort Lythe. This camp also drops the Staff of the Guilty. And Scarlet Papillon can be found on the top of the Heart of Ionia, accessible from the path outside of the Church of the Plague near the Swamp Lookout Tower. We're gonna go grab those. 2 new altered states for the Kaiden armor. Altered and the tunic, and they were progressively removed more of the leather and armor scales. There is now a Stake of Marika added to the Grafted Scion fight at the Altar of Anticipation, active during the revisit and not during the initial fight at the beginning of the game. Counter frames have been globally extended 8 frames backwards across all player and enemy animations. This is a big one. Counter frames are windows of increased vulnerability to damage the recovery of an attack. This change will extend the window to begin during the attack swing itself, making the player and enemies more punishable. The counter damage increase is a 10% increase to all damage taken, which, other than Pierce, except Pierce, which is 20%. Another big change, Roar Medallion buffs breath attacks. Finally. Final freaking lead. Please do that. originally only buffed roar attacks by 14%, and Grail's roar is now a roar attack for the purposes of the roar medallion. Can we roar any more than that? Take a big breath after you've said that. Then we have the Upper Noxtella Chair Crypt, I guess. There's a new rest site. I have no idea where this is in relation to the map. Finally, there has been an adjustment in various scalings, NG, regions, some enemies, health, hitboxes, attacks, animations, etc. Among other things, weird outliers like Castle Soul Ghost Banished Knights having 40% more HP than every other Banished Knight. Then, additionally, there's some Cleric Fortune bonuses that are fixed in a non-interactive rune piece, and issues with the Eternal Return game mode, which is basically like, oh god, can I define it? No, I can't. Instead, I'm going to use this opportunity to point you guys in the direction of the wiki. So, the wiki, !ERRW, brings us to the wiki at the fandom site. So on that wiki, we can look at game modes, and in that game mode, we have the Eternal Return game mode. It's focused on NPC quests. Basically, the premise is, cursed by the three fingers, you only have 3 in-game days to become Elden Lord before the flame consumes you and order is lost forever. Players must empower themselves with grace found from interacting with and completing NPC quests to become Elden Lord. Yeah, so we gotta become Elden Lord in 3 days. Yay! Yeah, that's about as much as I wanted to say regarding that. We'll be going over all of this when the time is right. We are slowly and steadily climbing to 1.0. We are slowly and steadily climbing to 1.0, and it is glorious. I cannot wait for what the 1.0 update has to bring. I can't wait. But until then, until we're there, we have things we ought to do. We've gone over the patch. It's time we, emptied our rune pouch. And no, I still haven't gone to actually grind any resources, so make of that what you will. In terms of spells, we're gonna want something that operates at range for this upcoming area. What else? We want to continually add death effects or other kinds of effects to our repertoire. Effects that we don't have yet. Just making sure I'm not missing chat. Any if at all. We have poison. We have poison, madness, death, frost. For that, it's going to be this. What else? Rot. See, bleed and frostbite. We don't really have any good bleed spells, though. We just don't. We get those much later in the Blood Flame School. So instead, we're going to make sure we have taken the appropriate countermeasures. Goodness gracious. Sorcery. Let's make sure we've applied all the sorceries we're going to have before adding incantations. Okay, there's Golden Star. There is Poison Mist. I'm sorry, we don't want Poison Mist. We want Poison Bolt. Frenzied Burst. Rot Breath. What else? Hallow Shabriri costs 2 slots, so I don't really want to be using it. Probably flame fortification for what we're gonna do, and blessing of the Erd Tree. And I suppose our last spell... We don't have any good close range fire. Let's add this one. And we'll add Hone Bolt. That way we have a little bit of everything here. Okay. Yeah, we got a little bit of everything. Which is good. Exactly what I want. So how's everyone doing today? Hopefully people enjoyed the, just chatting. Like the 3 hours of talking with me and another person. It's just, sometimes you just need something new, folks. Where's my drink? I just realized I've had a drink and set it down somewhere. Give me just a second. I am so sorry about that. I looked all over when I realized I set my drink down in my room and put it in a place I don't normally put it, and it was rough. Anyway, our spell loadout is because we don't really know. Well, we do kind of know what we're up against, but we need a ton of different tools to sort of help us navigate what we're about to do. And I think I'll let the cutscene just take it away. I hope we weren't just moving an astrolabe. Also, we could totally remove the inverted statue. And we'll go back to our right side configuration. So, do we have the statue in inventory? I don't know if we ever looked at it. That's why I'm looking at it. Statuette of a scholar with ground and sky inverted reveals the hidden form of the carrying study hall, which connects to the divine tower. To unveil the secret, affix it to the pedestal of the celestial globe. Alright, so we have our answer. It flat out says, hey, put this in the pedestal to change how the tower is. And look, instead of going up, we're going down. And of course, it wouldn't be a FromSoft game if we weren't also, I don't know, falling into pits accidentally. Yeah, look, even though there's a hole through there, we still might die anyway. This is a job for a spell like, say, Ancient Death Rancor could travel the distance. Frenzied Burst can also travel that distance. Really, you have 3 tools you can use to help get the job done and allow you to traverse safely. Okay. Right, I have to remember that things get a little saucy. So we can actually show off the effects of the death spray. Oh, you're here now. Alright. Sure. I don't mind entreating. Maybe the hands are not the best use of the death spray, but essentially this is going to be our go-to spell for inflicting death. The only other one is actually Death Lightning, and that's in the other source of magic. Incantations. One's a sorcery, dismissed. The other is an incantation, a sorcery. I'm sorry, an incantation with the seals. Exactly. Going great. I'm already frazzled at, the end of a 3-hour... Miriam, seriously? Yes. As you can see, we are now face-to-face with mage that is totally going to try to gutter snipe us from point blank if they... Or not point blank, but basically snipe us from really far away. Are we able to use Death Rancor here? Sure can. Ow, that hurts. Yeah, so basically, Miriam can't really hurt you. Because Miriam is just going to... Oh, right, she teleports. Or he teleports. They teleport. Also, here's further proof. You got water flowing upward instead of downward. Excuse me. Upward instead of downward? Yeah, I'd say we're at an inverted tower now. Boy, doesn't this feel like Majora's Mask for anyone? Legend of Zelda 3D Majora's Mask. Where is Miss Preceptor Miriam? Or, instead we're just not going to be able to see them until way later. Yeah, the little hands fireworks way better on them than anything else. Also, this room is, I'm sorry, the inverted tower is just especially dangerous. Because instead of falling to a floor and taking a ton of damage, there is no floor. Except the rafters and stuff. There's no way to get down. Although one very particular piece of architecture will make a lot more sense once we actually get to it. For right now, there's nothing we could do except, make the traverse downward. And in the meantime, try to mark some enemies. And all the other kinds of good stuff. We have blue phantoms, right? Yeah, we surely do. Drink. Mark. And kill. Yeah, the codex being complete should now mean we have... Hi, Miriam. Should now mean we can just mark enemies at our leisure, because we will know if... Nice. I love getting knocked on the side of the head. That's okay. We are out of resources already, though. We only have just... We have like 2/3. Oh, hello there. What's this shiny loot? Just gotta keep my eye on my periphery to make sure that we're not being ambushed. Here's the mask of confidence. Mask with the mouth sewn shut with gold thread. Increases arcane. When Radagon married Renala, he ordered the carrying magic preceptors to don these masks. To make it clear that all of their matters were to be kept strictly private. Interesting. So now we find that there's just a generic version of that mask that increases arcane. Just straight up. Really? Where did you come from? You can't teleport back up there. That's against the rules. That is against the rules. You're not supposed to be able to do that. That's what we get for reading, by the way. Yeah, don't read in dungeons, folks. Except when you're supposed to read in dungeons. Then read in dungeons and die. You could have timed that better, though. I was just... Miriam, you gotta learn to calm it down some. I was just trying to explain to our viewers, you know, what the hell we're talking about. And now they have a view, and we've lost runes and all that fun stuff. Okay, so... Alright, right here. You try to use the terrain to your advantage in the study hall. Because only by doing that will you actually be able to avoid most of the significant ambushes. Look, there's another one up there. Just in case you decided to pick a different path. Now, we get to do this again. No, I'm not letting you get away now. You get to lose your FP. Yeah, that's right. Teleport away. No one likes you. This tower is all about making sure you've kept your nerves. If you don't keep your nerves in here, you're dead. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. You just die. How do I know? Because I've died in this exact room like over 50 times. I've died a lot in here. And I've even actually been surprise ganked by Miriam a few times. He is totally capable of it. And you just stand there in awe and go, oh, crap. How did I lose there? Instead of going, oh, you filthy cheater. No, they weren't a filthy cheater. You just weren't watching your 6. And Miriam teleported back somehow. Making sure I can still pick up my runes and I'm not just gonna, you know, eat a magic great arrow to the face. I especially don't like when I'm not hearing things. Yeah, look, here they go, walking back up that ramp. Oh, and I should have tagged them. Instead, we get a different spell, Lucidity. Let's take a moment to read our... You know what? Actually, let's wait until we get to a rest site after just experiencing, you know, getting thrashed by reading items. Let's not do that anymore. Let's learn from our mistakes. Let's be better than that. Than how we were before. Be better than how we were before. The new fruit of the day. Nah, I'm kidding. Anyone else watch MTG Malone, though? I do. And he's taken to, like, the fruit of the day. I don't particularly understand why he does this in his recordings. It's funny. It's generally a funny gag, but I have no... Oh, hi. You die now. In fact, we can use this time to re-showcase Catch Flame. I don't think we've actually seen Catch Flame in quite a while. Typically, Catch Flame's time to shine is at the beginning of the game, where you'll start out with the resource already in hand. You usually don't expect to see it once better spells have been picked up, unless you're doing a run, like a damage type run or something. That being said, Catch Flame is great. Catch Flame acts as a nice... It's a stagger lock for weak enemies. Look, this spirit had a hard time actually handling our ability to, you know, lock him out. Like, this one got an attack in. The other one did not get so lucky with an attack. Which is great. This thing is great for harassing small enemies. You definitely try it. If you have not come across Catch Flame, you can buy Catch Flame by talking to Corin at the Round Table Hold, who will straight up sell you the spell. I think it's pretty cheap. It's like 2,500 runes or less. Something like that. Don't quote me. But I do not recall it being expensive, just tedious to get. But once you have it, Catch Flame is powerful. It is a powerful tool, and in Elden Ring Reforged, it's even more powerful because it is a regenerator, identifiable by the blue teardrop mark at the bottom right-hand corner of the spell icon. All the generators have that little quirk about them with the spell icon. It's great. I wish... Oh, hello there. I wish all the spells just sort of... I guess what I'm trying to say is I wish there were more interesting utility marks on icons and stuff, because that would help out players a lot. Having the icons and like spells and weapon arts and other stuff of that nature. Especially information that is tellable at a glance. Once you associate blue teardrop on a spell with this thing generates FP, then once you associate those two things together, every time you see one, you know what you're dealing with, etc., etc. It might be nice if, for example, Rotten Breath or Fia's Mist have like a corresponding status marker with them, so you know exactly which status effect you're dealing with. Although really the spell art is so unique that that the spell should just be identifiable, and only the generators need this telltale mark. But hey, it's nice to have a consistent system that isn't just well, it is nice to have a consistent system about spell identification. At the same time, though, I respect the fact that the identification is limited just to generators. It means that the system is lightweight and doesn't feel the need to impress upon the player with all the information at once. And it does it at a glance. It's not in your face. There's no text box. Nothing. It's just a symbol. It's out of the way. And it doesn't really take away from the spell art either. That's a bonus. It's more, the information's more important, but the spell art is nice. Also now, many of these places that were, that we've already been through, we'll have to go through again and collect all the, rune fragments that are present. And just be, that'll be great. We're trying to make it to that staircase there. Here goes. This is probably the most dreadful part of all this. Rats could come out of the woodwork from anywhere. Anywhere at all. And we would be in for some unfun times with this rat. With these rats, excuse me. Hopefully, they were just taken out. They were wiped out when the tower was upright. But you never know. Don't ever assume these things in Elden Ring Reforged. You just learn to explore your terrain all over again. We're going to move down the ladder now. The question is, where? Where do we do this? Maybe right here? Yeah, right here sounds right about fine. We have 3 items we want to get. Yep, see, you can tell we have to go back to the other side, like the upright portion of the tower, and collect that stuff all over. I say this and that and these and those. We have to go back and collect the rune pieces. Runic traces and rune pieces. Great stuff. Great, by Jove. Is that how they say it? By Jove? What does Jove even mean? It's not a god. I think that's a person. Holy proof dried liver. Yes, this thing does exactly what it says on the tin. It increases, I dimmed my lantern without wanting to. This thing increases holy resist. I do not know by how much. I think it's supposed to be 15 or 20%. It's sizable, but you can make the livers, so it's not supposed to be big. It's just supposed to be sizable. Alright. We get on the ladder and head down. Yeah, we want our lantern on again. We're gonna check for rune fragments while we're here. Just kind of put a quick eye on everything. So far, I don't see anything. There should be a faint glow. We're kind of watching for a faint glow. If we don't see anything, that might be a good sign. This would be the perfect place to add a fragment, though. It's easy to miss. Players are generally tempted to go right through the front gate. Yeah, this is kind of a missed potential. Maybe I'll add... There is a floating post in the Discord where it's like, suggest places to put things. Maybe I'll throw a suggestion in that Discord thread. Be like, hey, you should put something here. We'll see. I'm kind of wanting to take this spring break to just sort of go on autopilot mode and relax and not really have to worry about a whole bunch. I want to be able to stream to you guys, of course, and I care about that content, but I like to be able to just turn my brain relatively off for a while. Today was kind of an especially draining event. I enjoyed it, but I'm drained. I need to recharge. So, how is everyone else's day going? It's going all right. As people probably know, I had a debate special today, so I'm a little bit I am somewhat taxed from that. Other than that, a little bit warm. My house is a little bit warm, so I currently do not have a webcam on. I also made sure I spent time with my mom today. I wished her a happy belated birthday. Her birthday is March 31st. So that would have been 2 days ago. I'm ing a lot. Her birthday was 2 days ago, and I'm wanting to fill the space. I'm trying not to. It's really, really hard. I'm trying to do something to just fill the space till I can think of the thought again. Anyone else do that? I know Point Crow does it sometimes, where he's just going trying to like fill the space until he can think of what he wants to say. Gosh darn brain fog, or you know, just not having a clear thought process of what you'd like to say. Rough. Her birthday is very important, and I wanted to make sure I spent time with her doing that, along with my sibling, whose name I will not say on camera, but they are my sibling. We spent that time at a sensory deprivation park. Basically, it's a park especially curated for sensory deprived or disabled individuals. All the scents are carefully curated so they're not, you know, super offensive to the nose or anything like that. It was fine. I generally don't mind being surrounded by nature. I am a druid. I do love nature. I might not like insects chittering and skittering and you know, biting my face or flying in my face or getting in my hair or going in my ear. I may not like any of that, but I can still appreciate the insect world for what it is. And insects have a very important place in the ecosystem. They're very important. And even with my hesitation at loving insects, I do generally enjoy being. I do enjoy soaking nature. I'm not normally an outdoorsy person. I don't know. I'm taking 50 minutes to explain what I mean. I like being outdoors. I'm not sure I don't necessarily enjoy doing things outdoors. I'm more of a I hike sometimes, but I'm more of a observer. I like stopping to smell the roses. I like being able to soak in nature. Basically.
Share them with me. Your thoughts.
Alright, for this, we want a shield. Just trust me on this one. You want a shield, and you want as big of one as you can get. With good guard stability. We'll want it for deflection. In terms of our spells, what we're fighting up here is the crowning jewel of infamy in Elden Ring Reforged. We're going to be fighting a Godskin noble. It's right in the title, so there's no point in tap dancing around it. Yeah, it's going to be a heavily nerfed Godskin noble, but it's going to be a Godskin noble, and I'm not going to like it. We're going to find out just how rough of a ride this is. Before I do, though, we're going to, A, make sure not using the internet more than I already am. And B, we're going to make sure we have the resistances, let's see, New content. Changes. Combat mechanics. Yep, it's this. Would be bosses. We're looking for the Godskin Noble. Noble will now punish players who bait the fireball attack if they go in to hit it. Liurnia Noble has special AI and attack properties to account for limited space. Good to know. Glad that's here. The nobles are generally... Oh, actually, that's a good point. I need to make sure I'm using this. We want to have... Not the lantern, we're going to remove this. It could just be on. That's fine. We don't need to have access to it. Instead, what we're going to grab is the Ancestral Infant's Head. I have a reason for this. And that reason is... this thing is vulnerable to sleep, just like the Apostle is. We can use that to our advantage in order to make it drowsy. And it's susceptible to some other effects. Other than that, I don't have much to say. We've seen a Godskin Noble one other time. Have we? No, we haven't. I guess it's kind of important I go over it. So, Godskin Nobles use rapiers. They use thrusting swords in their attacks. And they will attack up to 7 times in a row or more. They can puff out their bodies. Make themselves super big. At phase 2 they can roll into a ball, and that's kind of how they derive their infamous nature, is through that attack. They can also puff their body out temporarily just to like knock players back. They could throw out a black fireball. They can also emit a ring of fire, black flame, that punishes people for getting too close. Among other things. I'll just let you guys see the fight for yourselves. You guys know the deal by now, but just for those who don't know, I don't talk during boss fights normally, with some exceptions. So I will see you guys on the other side of this door. Thank God be with us. For I surely don't know if I had the skill on my own. But I'm going to try anyway. Let's just check behind the statuette or obelisk here. Alright, guys. Should come to a stop. Why would I... That's the wrong one. Yeah, unfortunately that black flame has the desired effect. I can't see what they're doing when this happens. That is all of it is my fault. I'm not going to sit here and offer excuses. What I will say instead is that I have to be in perfect control of what I'm doing. Because I definitely have moments where I'm just pressing the wrong button for no reason. And that ain't gonna fly in this fight. I need to have full control of my faculties. Alright. Let's try this again, Godskin Noble. Really? What the heck? Okay, so if you do not deflect, you need to deflect that. You cannot deflect. You can't roll through that. They'll just keep rolling until they hit you. You gotta deflect. You don't have a choice. I mean, you have a choice, and that choice is, you know, dodge continually until the end of time, but it's better to just take the hit or deflect. You really don't want to be dodging that in that encounter. Space is too limited to do that. Oh, boy. I love this fight already. Ah, we'll get over it. We'll conquer it. I just have no guarantees on how exactly it's going to occur. You gotta stand in the center. I'm gonna lose arcs if I do this. I have to remember, one other thing you can do with Godskin Noble is duck the attacks. So, this fight in particular teaches you how to fight in a stationary position without doing a whole bunch of unnecessary movement. And I'm trying to make sure I have the correct items on. In raiding or in like a world in a MMO context, we refer to this as like quieting your movement. And when you have excess movement, it's referred to as noisy movement, where it's really sloppy. You're moving and losing a couple of frames of extra spell casting time, constantly interrupting your spells. You don't want to be moving like that. You want every movement to be as efficient as possible. And when you don't have efficient movement, it creates problems. Problems that you probably need to figure out how to solve, or you're getting booted off the team. Sooner rather than later. Where exactly is this thing spawning again? Yeah, I'm gonna die because I sprayed in the freaking wrong direction. We'll go for a few minutes and then I'm gonna take a break. If for those who don't know, I generally try to take breaks every hour. Granted, in today's debate, in today's like grand discussion, not debate, I call it's a discussion. Anyway, in today's discussion, I think I took one break and not much more than that. But that being said, taking breaks is a good idea. That way you don't develop deep vein thrombosis. You don't want to be doing that. Alright. Round here-ish, I think. Nope. Wrong. You can't, there was no room to duck that. It's gonna be a learning curve, folks. It might take me all stream to do it. It might take me all stream to do this one fight. Because of how hard it is, where it is, and the fact I've never fought this particular Godskin noble in this way. Ever. Even with the Godskin duo, and the individual Godskin noble fight in a much later era, you have way more space to work with. Here, you don't have that. You don't have a choice except to learn how to duck and deflect, or you're never getting this quest. You're never doing it. There's no way to do it. You have to get good at Elden Ring Reforged's combat system. You have to get good at the combat system here, or you're never making it out. Yep, I'm getting clowned by my own unawareness. Honestly, the fact that it's on the elevator is what makes it hard. The fact that you can fall makes it harder. You essentially need to unwire your brain and say, don't roll an attack. Do not roll ever. Don't even roll once. Except, well, actually you can't. It's all contextual. This is the kind of fight that you have to say, just get good. You have to practice until it's right. There's no other choice. You don't have anything else. Alright, I'm repeating myself over and over. So I'm going to stop doing that and instead focus on trying to get the fight down. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask. We'll probably take a break after this attempt. I think I need to, like, focus what I'm doing and not just, I don't need to be using 50 spells. Let's fix that. Pick 2. I need to pick 2 spells. I need to be very, very, very focused. What do I think I have time to cast? We're in close quarters, so Bestial Sling's probably best. We're gonna focus on using the infant head, so we're getting sleep. Then I guess we're gonna try to go for poison. Like, just build up poison. Like, try to hone in very specifically what we're doing. And because of that, we're using a shield. We're not getting sleep build up. So instead, I think I'm going to go for fire resist. And if necessary, I can always take off the scab. The scab? Scarab. You can take off the golden scarab. I know how to word good. Sometimes, occasionally, maybe never. Alright. So it should be basically spawning in from in front of us. And if not, we're about to find out. Yeah, if you If you don't take the time to space yourself, you're dead. Any little error results in death. You can't mess up once. Alright, I'm already feeling the urge to repeat myself until I'm blue in the face. I'm gonna stop. So I guess while I make a couple more attempts at this, I'm gonna stand a little further back. Has anyone else had a more difficult encounter? One like this that really tested your skills? You ever had a fight like this? I think of Dark Link from Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time when I think of just an arbitrarily difficult fight that kind of feels like you're beating your head against the wall. You can't... I just ducked that attack, took no damage, and then the Godskin Noble, pushed their literal, like, model, pushed me off of the platform. You have to roll sometimes. You can't just not roll. You've got to find a nice balance. I can't not move. I guess I just have to get freaking good. There's no other way to say it. You just gotta get good. You gotta know what you're doing. And you really gotta try not to just leave the center of the map. Or the platform. You really can't move from there. If at all possible. Alright, I'm taking my break. I've deferred it long enough. We'll come back and we'll attempt this. This might take me all stream. I will absolutely spend I will spend up to like 2 streams if I have to get this fight down. So before I continue onward, I will say today is a shorter stream than normal. We are 1 hour into a 3-hour stream. I spent 3 hours and 15 minutes in the debate special. So I'm going to try to split it up evenly so I don't lose too much time in the day streaming for 2 extra hours. So we're gonna okay. That explanation has no bearing on the intermission. Intermission I'm gonna try to make 5 minutes starting in the next minute or two. I generally tend to make these 5 to 8 minutes, or I'll specify the length of time I'm taking one. Definitely feel free to get up, grab yourselves a drink and a snack, or whatever fits your fancy. And I'll see you at the end of those 5 minutes. The timer on that starts now. I am back. Sorry about that. Hopefully folks have enjoyed their intermission. I think I've gotten pretty close to the 5-minute mark. Maybe slightly over. Okay. I'm surprised that doesn't take FP. You'd think that they would. I could just sit there and totally spam this. I guess it's tied to the parry animation. That's really quite strange. It's not the worst deal in the world. I think what we're going to do is... Well, A, we're going to keep fighting this boss. But also, B, I am going to make runes. That way we're not... Hold on. We're also going to make rune arcs. A lot of rune arcs. An incredible amount of rune arcs. And then I suppose after that, I've gotten as low on the totem pole as I can. Now we fight. I've brought kind of the best gear I can in terms of fire resist. Perhaps I could wear like heavier garments for fire resist, and there are a couple of ones that are better, but I've got a pretty good set. At most I would be trading optimizations. Come on, actually fall to sleep, gosh darn it. I guess it takes 2 applications for sleep. They apparently just ignore the first application, which is good to know, I guess. Or actually, I think I know what it is. It's because there's not a stagger being generated with the sleep, with, you know, NPCs getting drowsy. Maybe there's like 2 phases to it. Where first they're drowsy, and then, you know, another application makes them fall asleep. I could believe that. That would make a lot of sense. forgot that he does that sidewards. He... Actually, I'm fairly sure these Godskin nobles are female. But it would be hard for me to tell. We just gotta keep doing it. We've made progress, kind of. I'm getting a better feel for where I can and can't roll. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to mark it, though. I really don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, Chief. We're gonna do our best, though. I'm doggedly determined to win this fight. We have another hour and 40 minutes to do it. Actually, a little bit less than that because of the intermission, but you know what I mean. I can't let them do that. Yeah, I didn't have the courage to mark it. Sorry. I can't. I'm gonna have to mark the Godskin Noble another way. Couldn't do it. But it's over. It's done. Hey, so ancient ancestral infant head, grab that. That'll be incredibly helpful. But I suppose it might be worth trying to mark this boss. It may be a special Godskin Noble and not just any old regular Godskin Noble. So I may not... Like, when I mark the normal version, I may not get the codex entry for this one. So I'll probably go back and fight this off camera and get its codex entry, along with finally grinding materials, but... We got it! It's over. We can resume our normal build now, which is just great. And I can even pop one of these. Even though I made them, I never used them in the fight. Thing is with Black Flame, you get a small percentage of your HP dealt back to you as damage. Hey there, Kaiwheat. Welcome to the stream. Good to see ya. How are you doing? Hope you enjoy your stay. Hopefully I didn't catch you too late. You're still here, but if not, it can't be helped, I guess. Yeah, hopefully everybody is doing great. Wow, I've just been completely taken off my game. let's get back to what we were doing. So let's change out our shield for our sword. We don't need to deflect things now. We can focus on damage output. The Godskin nobles in particular are just a very rough fight for me when I have to fight them in close quarters. Normally you don't have to fight them in such close quarters. The one that's in... Is it the mountain... The mountaintop of the giants or consecrated snowfield? It's one of those areas where you fight a Godskin noble and you're in a building, but you're in a building with pillars, so you're not having to mind the Godskin's AI so much. Here I kind of feel like you're really having to mind the AI. It's about as much as I'm going to say about that. I risk repeating myself otherwise, if I haven't already done so, that is. So, also I totally just realized instead of wearing a damage boost, I am in fact wearing rune acquisition. So make of that what you will. That fight could have gone easier if I had, you know, taken that off. Just a forewarning. Don't treat the Godskin Noble elevator fight as a showcase. We get it. The Stargazer heirloom. Hold on to that heirloom, folks. And the Curse Mark of Death. So the Curse Mark of Death. Getting to it. Where is it? Curse Mark carved into Lunar Princess Rani's discarded flesh. Curse Mark... Okay, we've already read that. Also known as the half-wheel wound of the centipede. This curse mark was carved at the moment of death of the first demigod and should have taken the shape of a circle. However, 2 demigods perished at the same time, breaking the curse mark into 2 half-wheels. Rani was the first of the demigods whose flesh perished, while the Prince of Death perished in soul alone. So I wonder where the other half comes from then. Hopefully we'll find it. Maybe the other one is being held by Fia? Don't know. We also have a new fortune that we got from that fight. It is a rare fortune called the Fortune of the God Slayers. Increases dexterity, decreases skill and incantation FP costs, increases the duration of black flame effects applied through incantations, increases damage negation, decreases weapon stamina consumption, decreases incantation FP costs, and increases cast speed when in the presence of black flame. Deal decreased damage when two-handing or power stancing. Decreases the HP recovered from flasks. So this encourages you to run like a support incantation or two, aka, you know, Blessing of the Erd Tree. Hopefully I'm not misremembering. Blessing's Boon. Never mind, I am misremembering. Yeah, Blessing's Boon. Run this, or Bestial Vigor or something along those lines to help recover some HP if you need it. It'll be gradual over time, but you'll be pairing it up with Black Flame, or like constant Black Flame being applied. So it should be a non-issue for you. It pretty much takes care of the Divine Tower of Liurnia. Hopefully everyone thought that was cool, those who were present for it. Again, it's an inverted tower. Not the Tower of Liurnia, but the Carrion Royal Study becomes inverted. The Carrion Study Hall, Jesus, becomes inverted and allows us access to the Divine Tower, where we can receive this curse mark. In terms of what we're going to do next, I'd actually like to go check on our friend at Jarberg. Jarbairn, I think it is. See if he has something new to say for us. Alright, Jarbairn. What do you got to say? Do you have anything new?
Ah, hello again. Do you know what a poacher is, cuz? They hunt us, smash us, and then take us away. This village is kept secret, so I think we're safe here. But you should be careful if you ever meet one of them, cuz I hope Uncle Alexander beats them all up first. Those awful
Okay, do you have any more to say for us, Jar Baron? Since it's a 3-hour stream instead of a 4-hour stream, I have to take this opportunity to shill. I know. People don't like it when YouTubers and Twitch streamers say subscribe or follow, but I gotta make bread, folks. I gotta play ads. I've got to sort of play the game. Game in quotes, of course. So, I'll leave it at this. If you guys like the content so far, definitely feel free to leave a follow. Lets me know that you like it, although I'll be doing this regardless. Take that for what you will. Make sure your notifications are turned on, and don't let Twitch make them go asleep. It can and will do that if you don't watch out. If you guys like the content any more than that, or you just generally want to be the helpful sort, definitely feel free to subscribe. Or not. Well, like, you had a tier 1 subscription or a Twitch Prime subscription. Really, anything helps. Following gets you 2 emotes right off the bat. And purchasing a subscription, specifically a tier 1, gets you 6 more emotes on top of that. Additionally, a Twitch Prime, which is free with your Amazon Prime account, is more than enough to get you access to the Discord server. And that is a one-time deal. Once you've subbed at least once, I'm not going to ask you to continually sub in for the Discord. That's mean. The sub will be required for other benefits. I'll talk about those toward the end of stream. I just want to make it apparent that if you want to financially support me in any way, shape, or form, it's never required. Everyone being here is more than enough. But a Twitch Prime, sharing the content, and all of that fun stuff are very easy ways to support me. And if you're paying for your Twitch Prime, if you're not using your Twitch Prime, you're getting ads for no reason. The Twitch Prime sub cuts that out for your favorite streamers. Or I guess there's also Twitch Turbo. You can choose $250 for me or 10 for Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos gets those buckaroos if you go for Twitch Turbo, but then you don't have to worry about ads for any streamer, not just me. The choice is yours.
Stop. No. Please. No, don't break us.
Is the Jar Baron having a nightmare? I think they're sleeping. That's a really funny exchange. Because the Jar's worst nightmare, since they're made out of, like, animated flesh, is literally being shattered and having their insides taken from them. The flesh is where the Jars gain their sentience. Nice to see you're awake, Jar Baron. Are you going to be asleep, though? Because it's nighttime. Do I have to come back in the midday?
Those awful
Okay. No, I think we're good here. But, yeah. In terms of the support, being here is enough. Following is great. Sharing it on social media or, amongst your friends is even better. And the cream of the crop are those who pay for or use their Twitch Prime, Tier 1, Tier 2, so on and so forth. I also take direct donations through, well, those links are at the bottom, and I'll go over them then. But I even have ways for people who are lurking and want to show their support that way through, noise-free, advent-free, alert-free setups. It's great. It's absolutely fantastic. I've had a number of conversations with people who generally don't like their streams having a ton of fanfare, and so I thought I would try to cater to that with one of the options. I'll go over it at the end of stream. I just wanted to get, my 2 to 5 minutes of shill done. I'm working on shortening that further. Last time it was like 13 minutes and a 4-hour stream, which is entirely too long. But I am a long-winded person. So I'm trying to, like, reconcile my wordiness with my need to shill at least once per stream, and trying to be efficient and make sure I don't bore you guys with ads. Nobody likes shilling. We're all just playing the game that dear old Jeff Bezos sets us up to play. We're all participants in the game. Those of us who stream anyway. And in which the ultimate goal is having Twitch actually make money for Amazon. Because currently, right now, it really doesn't. Which is why Twitch has been so is it ham-fisted? No, tight-fisted, like tight-lipped about offering up additional bonuses for streamers and stuff. Instead, trying to use ad contracts to fill the same space. I can't say I entirely blame Twitch staff. And maybe it's Jeff Bezos, maybe it's the CEO at Twitch, but whatever that case might be, there's got to be a better way than just making everyone watch 4 to 10 ads, depending on who you're watching at any given point. I was in... Is it Zem92? I think it's Zem92. I was in his stream yesterday, and in the process of sitting through his stream, I think I had a block of 10 ads I had to sit through. Which, I get it. Nobody likes ads. I was willing to sit through all 10 of them. But having that happen to you every hour is a bit much. And it's really disgusting how the CEO of Twitch or Jeff Bezos can be so tone deaf to the requests of its audience that it does not care if the audience complains about Twitch ads. None whatsoever. No caring allowed. I don't know. Also, I completely forgot to prepare spells. Let's fix that. I spent too long ambling and complaining already about Twitch, like Twitch business stuff, which no one cares about. So let's talk about something else. We've seen Jarberg now. There's no reason to see much else. So instead, what we're going to do is go back and finally talk to Fia. We're ready to talk to her now. And we're ready to advance some other quest lines. Finally. We've been on this little bit of the saga with I'm sorry, I'm having a tough time braining right this second. Yeah, blood is really about the only thing we're missing in this. Erdtree's Favor. I'm sorry, Blessing's Boon. Gotta stop calling it Erdtree's Favor. That's not what it is. Bestial Constitution? No, it would probably be... Let's cure poison. Let's just do that. I think that'll be enough. Back to Deeproot Depths. We got a lady of the dead to talk to. Corpse Mommy. We gotta go talk to Corpse Mommy. You'll see what I mean when I say Corpse Mommy. I promise it's nothing bad, and I'm not trying to, sexualize Fia. I'm referring to her in the maternal sense of the word. You'll see. Hello, Fia.
What is it you intend? To deny us and our ways, like the dogmatic brutes of the Golden Order?
No, I want to be held. Hug me, Mommy.
You are an odd one. I am the guardian of those who live in death. They call me a foul and rotten witch. Yet you still wish to be held by me?
Yes, hug me. Hold me. And my tree armor and all, please. Look, see, nothing sexual about this. She is literally hugging you. Granted, she is sapping your life force when she does it, but, you know, that's okay. Now, let me confide in you the happenings of the world. You've probably been sitting here with dear old, Godwin, I think that's who we're dealing with, for a while.
Have you ever seen a Hallowbrand? When the first of the demigods died, his flesh was marked with the half-wheel wound of the centipede. Godwin's Hallowbrand has since been recovered at the Round Table Hold, but there is another Hallowbrand out there somewhere, and I must find it before the time comes we receive our Lord. When Godwin died, a Hallowbrand scored his flesh, but another exists. Another mark in the shape of the half-wheel wound of the centipede, and I must find it before the time my hands will be dirtied once more by the deed. Will you still let me hold you, even then?
Give curse mark of death.
This is the other Hallowbrand. How did you... Oh, my utmost thanks. With this, Godwin can take his rightful place as first of the dead, and claim a second, illustrious life. You are our true champion. And though I can't be of any use to you, can I hold you tight? If only for a moment.
You're already holding me, ma'am. You can hold me some more. Radiant Baldachin's Blessing. This was the real score.
I will soon lay with Godwin, and it will surely stir within me the new life of the Golden Prince, and first dead of the demigods, as the rune of those who live in death. Please, do one thing for me. Brandish this child, my rune, and take for yourself the throne. Stay the persecution of those who live in death by becoming our Elden Lord. I will soon to brandish my rune. Stay the persecution by becoming
So, I think before we go over the Radiant Blessing, let's go over the regular one first. I find that it's kind of important that we compare and contrast these two things. So, first, the Baldachin's Blessing. First thing we should note is the difference in art. This barely has a hint of gold. This is etched in gold. This has a light that bathes the etching in gold. But more importantly, look at the number in the bottom right-hand corner of these two icons. There's not a number here. There is a number here. Yes, this is a real Baldachin's Blessing. In vanilla, this had a number. In ERR, Elden Ring Reforged, the mod we're playing, this does not have a number. You actually get a really worthy reward instead of a one-time memento you would never use because you want to hold on to who Fia was after what's going to happen to her next. Hold on to that. So, favor bestowed by Deathbed Companion. Protection of a hidden temple in the guise of a bed chamber. Uses FP to temporarily boost poise. This favor allows one to forget any aches and pains. In death, there is only peace, for in death, there can be no sensation. The Radiant Blessing states that it's the blessing of the utmost rarity. The effect lasts longer than a mere favor. It is said that the Deathbed Companion will only produce a blessing of this kind for a champion but once in her entire life. The sole blessing which she imbues of her own volition. So, we're going to use the regular blessing. And as soon as the blessing fades, we'll get our HP back. Let's look. The wrong place to look. Yeah, we had 878 HP instead of 924. We lost about 5% of our health when we took that blessing. But now we can totally add on another item to our hotbar, and we'll make it all worthwhile. And of course, I say that we can return to our normal loadout, but there's one thing we should know. The next time that the next boss we're going to be fighting is the Lich Dragon Fortisax, and he's immune to undeath. He is not immune to some other stuff. So we're totally going to pack some different spells. The spell I kind of want to pay attention to now is going to be Frenzied Burst. I'm sorry, Javelin of Gold. 360 FP for massive spike of holy damage is just fantastic. We don't really want to be dealing in death or poison, and we're not going to really want to be dealing in frost. So instead, I think the status effect... Actually, I'm not sure what status effect. I think Frostbite works on Fortisax, and if that is the case, we want Javelin of Gold, but we also want Glintstone Ice Crag. And before that, we want to use all these runes. But we're not going to be able to do much with them quite yet. Instead, what we want to do is first go back to the Table of Lost Grace. Why, you might ask? Well, let's see if we can upgrade our stuff.
Well, I took you no matter to lay out your arms then.
So let's see. We can boost the Dark Glintstone Staff by 1. Let's do that now. We get an extra, I want to say it was like 4 points of boost. Not much more to say than that. Really not much more to say than that. No boosts there. Can we boost any of our spirits? I do believe we get 1 for that fight. Okay, Mimic Tier. Lutel, Latena. And at this point, I kind of want to boost the Mimic Tier an incredible amount. You'll see why. And look, we've already used 50k. Let's just go and reconvert these back. No, I'm out of rune fragments. I shouldn't have done that. But hey, whatever. We'll get over it. For those who maybe don't know, I want to take an opportunity to go over the menu. It's a little different than it was before. Resurrect Bosses is now at the very bottom of the menu. It really hasn't changed much. I guess I'm just kind of explaining a little bit for those who haven't been here before. This mod, Elden Ring, Reforged. Oh, wow. They're actually, all the bosses are resurrectable. They meant what they said. Good to know. So we can resurrect bosses. That is a unique feature that is not available in vanilla. We can... our Great Runes have nerfed effects, but we now have a new menu accessible from Enya. Finger Reader Enya that lets us buy extra passive effects that permanently buff us for each run. We have Fortunes, which boost our... I hear my dad hacking it up back there. I might check on him in just a moment. We have fortunes. We have some new physic tiers that weren't really there before. We have a bestiary that's also not... That's also, like, ERR exclusive. There's no other mod that has a bestiary. This game changes, like, over 1,000 different items. Maybe a little bit more than, like, 1,400 items, considering all the rune shards. So this is... I would class ERR as a real overhaul mod at this point, and not something along the lines of Convergence. The Dark Souls 3 Convergence mod. It's about that same scope and size. The only difference, I suppose, would be we're not changing... We're adding new spells, but we're not getting rid of old spells or really changing... We're not really changing that much in regard to the spells. Do you have anything new to say for us, Fia?
This is goodbye, my dear, but I am satisfied. I choose to lie with Godwin of my own will, not the remains of one chosen for me, and I will bear a child who will inherit your warmth too. What greater blessing could there be but to be born a deathbed companion? This is good, but I choose, and I will who will inherit. What greater...
Thank you, Fia, for everything. Yes, you might have murdered someone, but hey. That person was hunting you. What more can I say? There will be a stunning conclusion to this episode, and insert that meme there. Insert that meme there. Also, I want to totally be using this regular Baldekin's Blessing. We're going to rest one more time. Just make sure that Fia doesn't have much more to say. Look. You do a lot of resting now. Enter the deathbed dream. Yes, you do need to go here. Doing this quest up to this point and getting the curse mark from Ronnie's body is the only way you can complete this quest line. These two are very intertwined. Ow. That hurts big time. I'm dead. Running away from Fortisax is never the answer. Also, I didn't do a very good job of introing the boss. Yeah, this is Lich Dragon Fortisax. He is a corrupted dragon. Which the prevailing theory is that dragons are normally not corruptible. They're kind of linked with the Erd Tree. So, typically a dragon would stay beside a corrupting force. In this case, you can sort of see the corrupting force up there. Look at the tree. That's how you know. Godwin was a big, big man. And we can't even believe he's dead. But, yeah, he's a big guy. And supposedly, Fortisax stayed by God. Become. I think we're good now. I waited until after the drop frames were gone before I entered or did anything. Yeah, Fortisax has two phases, and he's really, really quite... he's been buffed pretty heavily. He used to be a very weak boss. Goodbye, Lutel. You served me well. I could not. I need to pack a healing spell in situations like that. Because I was already trying to fumble through, trying not to die. But also, I keep backing away from Fortisax, and you really don't want to be doing that. Stay under his legs. I've already actually showed off that you can stay under his legs without too much of an issue. So just do that. It'll be a lot better for it. I guess we can also replace the modeled necklace with the Crimson Amber Medallion. And I guess we'll also just try to, let's see, let's get a healing spell. Just kind of in order. This is actually a really good fight to try to showcase the Mimic tier. But Lutel was great for a while. Lutel held their attention pretty heavily. Fortisax is not as a tough customer, as he should be, and definitely not the throwaway boss in vanilla. Sorry, FromSoft, but Lord can't carry everything. You do need consistent gameplay throughout, not just, you know, the first boss and then there's I could go into it, but I'm not going to. There's a lot that could possibly be wrong with FromSoft's design. Oh, that doesn't work. Maybe Fortisax is resistant to holy damage? Oh, he also just threw a complete temper tantrum and crushed the Mimic tier. Oh, and that range got shortened. Or maybe I just need to hit headshots. Nah. He is definitely resistant to holy damage. I guess we'll be changing what we're doing. He used to be vulnerable to it, but I guess it actually makes some amount of sense if he's not. Okay, we need to change up our spell alignment. That doesn't work. Our sorceries are doing way more damage. Way more damage to him. Also, we're now at the 2-hour mark, so I'm going to sort of take a break. I'm gonna go ahead and calibrate our spells, take a break, and then when we come back, I will proceed to hopefully trash Fortisax. Hopefully everyone gets a good taste of what a real Fortisax fight should look like. Because what we get in vanilla is a travesty. It is absolutely unacceptable. You have to jump through a lot of hoops and follow... you have to follow a lot of stringent protocols on quest timing just to be able... I guess it's not a ton of stringent protocols. It's more like you just have to know that Ronnie and Fia's quest lines are intertwined. And if you don't pay attention, you're getting the short end of the stick. That's just all there is to it. Yeah, that's really all there is to it. Not much more than that. All right. We've gotten our buffs together. We're going to go ahead and remove the dragon seal. Replace that with this staff. And hopefully we should be good to go. Alright. For those who don't know, I tend to take around 5-minute breaks, somewhere between 5 and 8 minutes. I typically play an ad during those, so feel free to at least take a break for that long. Well, a 1 minute and 30-second ad. Sorry. Definitely feel free to take a break for at least that long. The timer for the intermission starts now. See you guys then. Sorry about that. I am back. And of course, I would miss a follow notification. Thank you very much for the follow. I hope you enjoy your follower emotes. You get 2 of them, which are just fantastic. Make sure these are the correct 2 I want to talk about. Wow, the OBS got a real functionality for a 7 TV, huh? 7 better. I'm sorry. Yeah, 7 TV. Jeez. Okay, and they list them in order of tier benefits. So, for anyone who's just who's just following, you get the top hat and you get the smile emote. I hope you enjoy your emotes, if nothing else. And thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. And with that, it is time to get back to the Kraken. Because we are only using sorceries, you guys know what time that is. It is time to respec again. We need as much intelligence as we can sink our teeth into. So that means going back and talking to Renala. So that we're more sorcery focused again. One nice thing I will say about Renala and our sorceries. Make sure I've got my eye on the right ones. Is we can make larval tears. Larval tears are kind of a finite resource. In normal Elden Ring, we can make them. We can totally make them. It's just fantastic. Why, you might ask? Because respecking can be painful, and you might even need to do it on a per fight basis. With the type of build we're going for those who are curious, if you type in !player build, all lowercase, all one word, player build, the 2 words put together, it'll tell you exactly what our build is. However, for ease of time and maybe not wanting to make people type, my build is essentially a caster build. We're going for all 3 mental stats, intelligence, arcane, and faith, all in one. We're essentially wanting to be an all-in-one build. It's not working out too great because we have to, I don't know, constantly, wow, I cannot keep my words straight. We constantly have to swap stats. So it's just currently not going the best right now, but that is to be expected. Also, in Elden Ring Reforged, we have a level cap. Initially, the level cap is 200. So we have 52 more level ups before we're stuck with whatever build we have. So it's up to us to make it work. The cap will continually increase by 50 levels per cap, finally being removed at NG plus 7. The cap is just fully gone. In the meantime, we're kind of meant to take advantage of the fact that leveling is easier. There are less rune requirements per level. All kinds of fun stuff. We're really meant to take advantage of the new system. The Elden Ring Reforged just changes a lot of stuff. It changes everything. And it changes it in ways I can't even begin to tell you. Like, the system we're in right now is, or I should say the UI we're looking at right now is the new crafting system, where your beast bloods, your budding cave mosses, or silver tear husks, they all turn into a number of materials of a different type, and they are used to make items. Now, sometimes you need to keep things like strips of white flesh for a recipe. or we need to keep Trina's lilies or slumbering eggs. But the whole purpose of turning these into extracts and amalgams is so that we have enough of the generic resources to work with that we don't run out. The last thing we want is to run out of blessed substance or any of these other like substances, amalgams, and so on. This is also a system that is unique to Reforged. You will not find them in any you will not find the system in any capacity outside of this mod. Yeah, there will be other crafting systems. Like I know that the Convergence, I don't know why I made, good lord, I don't know why I made so many miraculous amalgams. That seems really strange. Let's just fix that. Yeah, and the alchemics are transmutable, meaning you can make them out of a ton of materials. Like, they all have some level of interchangeability, which is just fantastic. We're gonna keep the roa fruit. We want that for raisins. Yeah, we can make raisins to heal our horse. Roa raisins to be specific, but we have them. Let's make more of these marks. Marks let us fill the bestiary. If we kill a boss or an enemy that is marked, its entry... I just converted all the roa fruit I didn't want to convert. Fantastic. I love that for myself. Whatever. It's a done deal now. So can we make anything actually worth something useful? Or is it all just worthless tripe? Oh, never mind. We don't even need to keep the cured meat. We could literally make it out of amalgam. That's fantastic. That's just great. Trying to think of what we want for this. I don't know what status effects Fortisax is vulnerable to. I used to have a boss spreadsheet, but since the advent of the codex, you don't really need it anymore. Also, what is in this chest? It is currently locked. You probably need to deal with Fortisax and find an underground area.
Is it thy...
Yes, let's rebirth. We are already in 14 minutes and we haven't even respec yet. Let's fix that. Okay, let's fill out all the stats back to where they were, and then we'll make cuts accordingly. So for Arcane, we probably wanted around 35. For Faith, we could drop it all the way to 25. And then for Intelligence, we want at least... You know what? We gotta go for the meme. 69. Nice. Yes, 69 Intelligence is where we're gonna stop.
Thou art now a sweeting, full fine and fair. My thanks.
Or I would, except now I can't use the sword. I need another... Really? A single breakpoint, a point in Faith would have fixed this? And here we have yet another quality of the system. Making mistakes. Luckily, we already have 6 larval tiers, so it's not really that relevant. But my god, I guess we're putting a point. Fine. I guess I will move a point from Arcane to a point in Faith. The reason for that is so we don't, like, buckle badly due to trying to block with a two-handed sword. That's not good. Also, I just realized we probably don't want the Baldachin's Blessing on the bar, as the Mimic will use every item on the hotbar, unfortunately. Alright, what spells do we not have access to? That's pretty freaking important. We're basically using our staff in order to get an advantage. Gain some kind of advantage. We can do this at the deep root depths. I don't know why I'm just running every which way. So how are people enjoying the viewing experience? I realize today is a little bit later than normal. What is... Oh, I'm looking at my recommended feed instead of my following feed. It's just great. Sounds like we have the usual suspects for rating, but we're not there yet. We'll have to wait and see what, We'll have to wait and see how much time 45 minutes allows for people to change in or out of being live. So, we're here now. What do we do with ourselves? Why, that's easy. We're just going to talk to Fia again. I don't believe I get the ability to summon the Mimic Tier if I'm not runed up. Really can't be that far away with sorceries. Can't roll away. That is dangerous. I'm really fighting my instincts. Even though I've played this game for 43 episodes, I'm still fighting the urge to roll away from the dragon. It doesn't work. He closes distance too fast. I should be utterly aware of the fact, and yet it doesn't change the fact that I want to roll away. You really gotta fight your instincts, and or not instincts, but you really have to fight your vanilla reflexes in Elden Ring Reforged. They're usually not right anymore. You really, really cannot roll away from the big scary dragon. Yeah, he means business. And look, even with our scaling, I'm not sure that wizard, or I'm not sure warlock is right. I'm fairly sure the correct play now is to swap to wizard fortune, get rid of all status effects, and go for pure power. You have to. There's no. I should say there's no. It's just that I need to play to a very specific set of circumstances, in which the only answer seems to be deal magic damage, do big damage, and that's all there is to it. No statuses seem to be working, which tells me he's probably immune. He's dead. Would make some amount of sense. Fortunes. Let's actually divine fortunes. We have 2 of them. What do we have already? For common, we have wizard, ranger, warlock, sorcerer, paladin. So the 2 that we probably want are cleric and commoner. Alright. Fortune of the wizard it is. Sometimes you just have to accept that your tactics don't work. And you have to just keep going. You even get that 1 point of intelligence back. Isn't that just fantastic? 376 spell boost. We don't have any, like, cold icicle darts or anything. And because we're not using a status build, we can Oh, actually, that's a great point. We're not using a status build, so we can go find ourselves. We can find ourselves a different offhand to use, which is just great. Not changing scaling, though. Not changing scaling whatsoever. Or scaling? I'm not changing items. Other than changing the main and or offhand. What am I looking for, though? I think I'm looking for another staff, is what I'm looking for. So I guess for that. Oh, we have the scaling for Lusat staff. Let's use it. Although, let's change the staves. Because now we're not... Actually, the Dark Glintstone staff would be if we're using cold sorceries. We're not. We want... Casting time of all sorceries. It's not a passive effect, so it comes through the staff. Are we really going to need another couple of points in dex? What can I even remove? I guess I could use a shield instead, seeing as how we're not getting anything out of our current setup. But we don't even get anything for that swap. I don't know. I guess we're going back to Renala and putting a few points in dex so I could use the pertinent staff. We need every ounce of power we can muster. I'm actually even willing to change gear pieces over it. Do we have any gear that changes? Strengthens carrying sorceries. Yep, this is exactly what we're looking for. As the Magic Glint Blade is considered a carrying sorcery. Alright, Renala, let's do this song and dance one more time.
Now,
I technically don't need that much faith either, so we can keep our strength and dex where they are, and literally pump points into faith like it is, or into intelligence like it is no one's business. Yeah, we have an extra 18 points to play with. Let's get that dex up to 16 for minimum casting requirements. We're almost at stat hard cap. Alright, now we'll replace our Dark Glintstone Staff with the Carrying Glintblade Staff. Really what we want is just the ability to scale sorceries as we cast them. Alright, Fortisax, I will put an end to you. It is time you obtained your rest. Let's try this one more time. I forgot to buff, but does that even matter? It might not matter. Let's try it without summons whatsoever. I'm dead. That's the effect of death blight, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, doesn't matter what your health is. Also, if you had runes, they're gone. You do not get any runes. I guess we'll pop a rune arc. An extra 2 points might make some amount of difference. Alright, let's try again. Yeah, Deathblight removes all your runes if you had any. You don't get them back. They're just gone. So, try not to die by Deathblight. Get clawed to death. That would be far better. Nope. He is a tough customer, guys. But you know what? If there's any way I want to be spending my time, it's talking to you guys when I can, and you know, trying to kill these bosses. That's half of the game, is just these bosses in Elden Ring, is trying to improve and get better at them. So I guess I've got an engagement question for you. Have you guys fought any difficult bosses in any game for yourselves? And were willing to actually sit and spend hours or even days to get the attempts all set? Think on that while I'm fighting, if you don't mind. don't know why I'm trying to run away from the dragon. I just am. Don't stop running away. Doesn't work. Just keep your distance. Why am I rolling away? I remember the game or the boss. I just remember having to take multiple breaks so you wouldn't get frustrated from dying a lot. Took you a few days? Yeah. Yep, that's progression for you. And progression is something I got very used to. Raiding with multiple people in World of Warcraft or other MMOs for a while. It would take us months to kill some bosses properly because they were just that hard. There was so much you had to get right, so many intricate parts. I remember the many months I spent killing Warlord Garrosh in Mists of Pandaria because it took me and my group literal months to get it right. And it really frazzled people at the seams because it was that hard of a fight. Here you go. Oh, that take more stamina out of you, buddy. Sorry. Oh, we're in it for the long haul. I don't even have any stamina for this. Okay, so this fight you have room to move around, unlike when you were fighting the Godskin Noble earlier. Oh god, I better not be chatting during this. But you're definitely right about that. Oh, I backed up and ran right into it. Oh, are you serious right now? There's room, but what does the room matter when he's doing this? I do not want to die to Deathblight, please. This is a raid boss, Curtifer. Are you serious right now? Curtifer's the mod author, for those who don't know. He is the one I say he, I meant they. I don't know who they are. Serves me right for misgendering someone. Serves me absolutely right. Wow, do I not have enough resources for that fight. Well, I can now actually address the sentence. Yeah, with Godskin Noble, it was more of a, do you know how to fight in a confined space? Yes or no? Do you have a good understanding of the duck and the parry and the deflect? If you don't have mastery of those three things, and you weren't situationally aware of when you could or couldn't dodge, you weren't getting through that fight. Additionally, I don't know how you would do it without being able to put the Godskin Noble to sleep. And I'm not trying to diminish that particular Godskin Noble. It's just been nerfed to the ground. The elevator Godskin Noble has been belovingly called Baby Godskin Noble, which means the regular ones have way more health, have a different AI, and are way worse to deal with. But I actually kind of think this works against that change works against the Godskin Noble in other rooms, because the Godskin Noble on the elevator has a unique space constriction problem. You are more likely to roll off the platform yourself. Whereas with the Godskin Nobles in other places, you don't have that to worry about. That Godskin Noble also used to be on the bridge instead of in that elevator. It's one of those changes you either learn to love or you learn to hate it. I don't know which one of those things I have for that particular Godskin Noble yet. I haven't fought it implicitly enough to know whether I like the change or I don't. So I'm not going to shred Kernifer or anyone else who suggested the Godskin Noble fight be moved to the elevator because I don't know where I sit with the boss yet. This, on the other hand, this is way harder. Even if I had rune arcs and I had assistance, I'm not sure I could do this. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna dedicate the last 15 minutes or so to this fight, and if we go over, we go over. But this fight is just a horse of a different color, and if we don't get the fight down, then I guess what I'll be doing in my off time is looking up information regarding Fortisax so that we can attack it either from a status angle or we can chip at it harder than we already are. You guys know the deal? Just a reminder for those who are new at the bottom of the hour. I typically don't talk during boss fights. That last one was a bit of an exception. I will see you guys on the other side of this fog gate. Lutel, what are you doing? Don't run into that. Oh, he's gonna transform if he hasn't done it already. Oh, Lutel is just gone. That's fine. We're not going to have time for another attempt, and I'm going to have to grind up resources. So as much as I don't like calling a stream early when we could have 8 minutes, there's no way we're going to get that done at all. We need more resources. Or I need to figure out what kind of stats or spells I need in order to deal effective damage. Fortisax has very high scaling in ER. I can actually show you what that is supposed to be. So if we look at the discussion, let's find out where Mr. Fortisax is. Guess not. Okay, he's not on here directly. So instead, I know the general rule. Let's find Deep Root Depths. Deep Root Depths is at 11. Fortisax, I think, is like +2 in terms of tier. So we're at Lanedell Sewers, Lake of Rot, Mountaintop of the Giants. We're dealing with content that requires a little more stats than we currently have right now. But it's doable if we keep our pace consistent. I'm just not sure we have the room to cast out of Azure's staff, given how expensive the spell becomes. Oh well, that's going to be for a different time, next Sunday. For those who aren't aware, I stream every Sunday and Wednesday on Twitch and every Friday on YouTube. Barring any events, we should be able to finally get that gosh darn game behind us. Next stream, I might grind some stuff off camera just so that so we can put that behind us. As a little bit of a PSA, if you spend your Twitch Prime sub on this channel, and I'm not directing that at anyone specific, just, if you sub and you get access to the Discord, you get access to voting power. We're voting on the next game we're doing after Blasphemous. And so far, I've only had a single suggestion for a write-in. We've had a write-in suggestion for a game, and it's kind of going to be like its own series if that comes to pass, which means our Wednesdays will be very occupied, just like every Sunday will be preoccupied with Elden Ring Reforged. If you want in on the voting process, you can either, visit the Patreon, or you could visit, you can subscribe, any of that. Not trying to shill at you any more than I already have. I'm just throwing that out there. One of the sweet perks of, financially supporting is that you get direct say on what the content is. Taking a swig of drink because my throat is sore from talking for 3 hours prior to all this. As per usual, I don't have any good rapport with people to raid, so instead what we're going to do is I'm going to give you some shout outs so you guys have some content, some recommended content. If you guys like relaxing art streams, I highly recommend checking out the Bob Ross channel, which re-airs all of the episodes of Robert Ross's art show. It's a really, really old... It's like, I think it's in the 90s or 2000s. Something like that. Yeah, definitely check them out. They're currently doing a marathon, so if you just want to listen to art and sleep at the same time, that's perfect. That's a great stream for that. If, however, you want something a little more... how do I word it? Interesting. I recommend a creator by the name of Cheese Whiz. Hopefully I got that correct. Yes, they are playing a game called Terra Nil. I know nothing about it. But those streams are usually very hype. He always shouts out his subs. He's a very, very cool guy. Highly recommend. I've been there several times in the past. Pre-pandemic, it's very good, and it's pretty good post-pandemic from what I understand. I'll let you guys be the judge of that. I just wanted to make sure I put the 2 shout-outs out there for the day. The next time you guys will see me is on Sunday, or on Wednesday, excuse me, with some more Blasphemous. We're running up to the end of our rope on that. And for those who are looking for the next YouTube episodes, that'll be next Friday. We're continuing work on Grim Dawn, Dawn of Masteries, another modded game. If you like modded games, you're gonna love this one. That one. Get your adverbs and possessives right. Get your helpers correct, Coin. It's important. Needless to say, thank you guys so much for stopping by for the good conversation. I appreciate those who were here, especially who were here for both the 3-hour debate or discussion special, and those who were here for Elden Ring Reforged. But I appreciate everyone equally otherwise, because that was not the most well-planned talk show I've had, or podcast. I hesitate to call it a podcast, but that would be the right ballpark of content I'm looking for with that talk. There might be more like that in the future. I've had a lot of people come in just for the random conversations. Also, yes, one other reason. Do I really want to shill about that? No, I think I've gabbed your ears off about ads already, or, more channel points or any of that stuff. There are links everywhere. Please click on them. I encourage people to click on this stuff in the chat panels, on the stuff in the About Me section. I encourage people to experiment. Try different commands if you've got channel points. They're great. It's great stuff. But that's really about the extent of it. My name is Coin, or Swirling Vortex, or Steven. You can call me any of those 3 things. You guys are welcome in my hallowed halls anytime. Stay safe out there. It's been good talking with all of you. And as always, take care, and bye-bye.